Those were the days.
Yeah, floor hockey, dude. I mean, that's funny. So you say so you played like for 15 years.
I started playing roller hockey out here randomly too. I was like 5 years old, and like I lived in Rancho Cucamonga, and I went to school in Pasadena. So I had like, I had no friends really like in kindergarten, like out in my area. And I was like, I want to play a sport. I went to my parents. I was like, I want to play a sport right now. I just want to start. And they were like, all right, well, baseball is like not playing. Basketball just ended. Like hockey starts in like a month. We can give you like some rollerblades. All right, whatever, just let me fucking play a sport, and I never stopped. And it just took me.
Did you hear that? You never stopped.
Yeah.
But that is the key to success, dude. I'm telling. It sounds so like, I don't know. Just people don't get it, even in what their own right. Like whenever you have something that you do for a very long time. Like my brother, he did pharmacy, but he was a tech for the longest time, since for like. Basically like almost 18 years, including how long he's been doing pharmacy, like 15 years, and then he's been a pharmacist for like 3. So, and it's paid off. Now he's doing, you know, maybe he doesn't like it that much, but it's still like, well, even me. A lot of times I don't like music, but I've been doing it. Started violin when I was 4 years old. I hated it for the longest time. I had to do all these things. I played at Carnegie Hall when I was 12, 13. Yeah,
damn,
with
that's
like a
crazy.
string, like all ensemble. And,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was with like the high school. Yeah, I was like, honestly, was like the youngest person. Honestly, it's my one like accomplishment. I usually say I'm usually like I don't like talk too much about that, but like I was like the youngest person I think to come out of the school that I was at. It was country day. Okay. It was like I was in 5th grade, like the 4th grade summer. I was in 5th grade in the high school orchestra.
Damn, that's
like
crazy.
Second violin, and first violin. It was just like funny because then it's like. In like 6th grade, I'm like playing and like I didn't go right there to like Carnegie Hall like right after elementary school, like
it's so nuts,
like lower school. So it's just like I don't know, it's cool because I went to like prep school my whole life, and that's why I think me and you have a lot of like similarities in that whole upbringing, which a lot of people consider like it's superficial, but it's like it's really not, because it depends how you view it. Like I don't just be like like I deserve this, and like. I like having, value for money and value for all different things. And like I've had like ups and downs, and like just losing, two as close people to me, and having big money, just like whatever, riches to rags, and like rags to kind of like riches now, and somewhat, and just like kind of always struggling, and just like
that's what humbles you. That's what humbles you. Is the up and down, and realizing like the work it took to get where you are, and being able to. That's why, like, when I went to school, I didn't get recruited to play. Like, I was playing out here, and I was like, dude, there's no real opportunity in LA. Like there's good teams, but like everybody, you hit a point and you just leave. Like, if you're gonna try and play college, you're gonna do anything, you go to somewhere there's better, whether it's back east or like Michigan area, or you go to Canada or something. So it was like, I need to get out of here if I want to play. And like nobody was recruiting from California. Around here, so I literally just took a trip to all those schools in New Hampshire. Like I made a fucking tape I sent my tapes to all the schools, and all like didn't want to do financial figure it out. This is your shot. That gave me now it's like there's no entitlement, dude. If you want it, you can do it. You just have to put in the work. Like, I went out there and I went to every school I possibly could. And the first year when I was there, I was a freshman, and they were like, you're good enough to make the team, but like we have seniors there. We're not gonna start a freshman. We just walked in here and hope that these guys will be recruited. But you could possibly play on the team the next year or two if you just work at it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking make the team. Figure it out. And I did. But all that like carries over into music and like the other shit. It's like if I'm gonna put in the work and like do it, it can happen if you just put in like all the times where it's like fuck, you're like struggling a little bit, or like I don't know if this is gonna work out, like, I don't know what's going on. But it's like if you like what you do and you just put in the work, that's it.
And it gives you the wherewithal, and it gives you a bigger like armor to just like endure. and endure everything. Back to what we were talking about before was just people and different things like BS or just stuff in general. It's like that I would maybe get upset when, you know, 5-6 years ago I'd get upset about things like that. Versus now, I don't even. It doesn't even just. It's just like I don't even. It doesn't even come into my head. It's like
it doesn't even. Nothing like phases me anymore.
That's
really
what
like
I'm
that.
saying. It
It's
doesn't.
like, I just
It
take.
doesn't even make me like sad because it's like, well, it's not like I'm totally emotionless, but a lot of times like good thing, you know, things like this make me happy versus just like accomplishments, whatever it is. I like to say accomplishments because that's like something that people really would be like, oh, now time to celebrate. It's like I celebrated the time that I like put in for the work, and that's like
exactly. You have the ability to like, and I was like that too. Like so much stuff would like bum me out. Like I get really upset about little shit that like it's like, dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Just go with the flow and like let shit happen and take away like it makes the successes and the good things like really appreciate them more because they don't come that often all the time, you know, necessarily. So it's like, all right, dude, this is dope. I can take away from this. This is great. And if something doesn't work out, all right, that's fine. Like I'm not dead. I'm still alive and kicking. I can still figure it out. Like I'm still. The only way you're gonna stop is when you're dead. So if I'm not dead, I can figure it out somehow and like make it happen. And it usually works out if you take that mindset.
You already know this, but this guy that I met, he's living on the street, and me offering him like, dude, if you need anything, please, please, please let me know. And him just like in that situation and not even like looking for an opportunity and being there and being content and happy with his purpose and goal in life, going through so many struggles that he was just happy. I was like, man, what? And I'm complaining.
Yeah, right.
I'm complaining.
It really puts it into perspective. It's like, all right, fuck.
Like, do I deserve this? I'm like, can you please just take my spot? Like, are you kidding me? What?
It's like, yeah, and that like, but being able to like see those situations and take positives from that is what's really important. Because you can see that and be like, all right, that now I can. When something happens to me, it's like, it isn't that. Like, it's not that.
Dude, it's not bad. I mean, there's people being persecuted across the world for like their faith, like they'll get like their heads chopped off, or it's like, I mean, they don't even want to put that in the news anymore. It's like, well, if you actually don't, I don't watch TV, so like I'll look up something online, just like I just go off like facts. I'd be like, oh well, this happened today. Well, obviously, and then a video comes out. So it's like, okay, what do you think happened? Like you think, oh, it was just like some kids like decided, no, dude, it was like a fucking terrorist organization. Like, sorry to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even sorry to say. Like, it's just like, it is what it is. Like, and I think, like I said, like, I learned that from my dad. Being a realist in life just literally opens the opportunity for everything. Positive, negative, anything that happens to you, you take it for what it is.
You can learn from all the experiences too. Like, I read a quote somewhere where it's like, there's no such thing as like failure. It's just it's a learning experience. If something doesn't go right, you now know. Do this because it doesn't go right. Should do this. It's going out. Now it's sports. I'm realizing, all right, clearly not working out. That's why this didn't pan out. So the next thing I do, I'm gonna bust my ass even harder. I learned from that experience, and I can take it as opposed to, fuck, I didn't play college, like people are just butthurt, like so many kids that we like played hockey with, it was like, I didn't get into this school, like this school's not big enough, their team's not good enough, like you're upset. Like, bro, you get to play a sport, like you have the physical ability to do it. First of all, like take that as a positive. Like not everybody has the talent to do these things. Like just take all those things and don't take it for granted. You know?
Exactly. No, exactly the point. And that's why, like, so this is a girl. She, like I said, she's in grade school. I mean, she's an awesome person. And she's probably gonna say this. And I was just telling her, it's like, you know, not even so much just count your blessings, but you're in a position where a lot of people don't get even the opportunity to do it. You're not compromising anything through like doing it. It's only gonna better you, and basically you gotta kind of own it. Know your worth. You don't need to be cocky about it or anything, but then know that like I'm put in a position where I can do it. And now, if I don't want to do this, I don't have to. But I have this. This is a part of my whole, you know, thing. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty much like, well, I have all these things in music. Maybe if my thing never gets whatever, now I have this company, let's say the company gets bankrupt, I don't know, something, whatever, the worst of the worst happens, I don't have any money, whatever it is, I'm at a point, and then it's like, well, I have a resume, and then maybe I can just use that resume to get an A&R at one of these huge companies, and then like, wow, now I'm back on track, and now I'm meeting all these people, and just, even if that doesn't happen, like, another opportunity comes from, like, your, of this life here, yourself, your awareness of what you've cultivated.
Yeah, dude, and that's what, like, when I was trying to get the job in, like anything creative, and it was like, I was so frustrated, like, I'm not going anywhere, like, it's been a year and I can't find a job, like, I just want to do this, but, like, a little internship popped up, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking take it, like, it's no money, but whatever, I'm just gonna do it, you know, I'm gonna take the opportunity and do what I can, and then when I come into the interview to do the job, and they're like, so do you have experience with this? I'm like, actually, yeah, I do. Because of the failure in that one thing, it gave me the opportunity to do this.
Wow.
And that's why I'm now able to come into this interview. And they're like, okay, what about this and that? I'm like, yeah, dude, I can do that. I've done that. I have that patience now. And even when I was in the interview, they were like, you're so calm and like,
that is the most
it.
important thing.
And I'm like, because I've been in the past week, I've been in 5 interviews that didn't work. So if this one doesn't work too, it's just another one that failed. Like, I'm totally cool with it, and if it does work, awesome. And they see that, and they're like, all right, I like that attitude. Like, we'll take a chance on you. And it's like, but I needed those failures before to have the mindset of like, right, fucking, like, it's not gonna be the end of the world if this doesn't work out. And you go into that with that mindset, and they're like, damn, this kid is different than what we usually have coming in here. And that just happened to work out, but you needed to have those failures. So now when I see those things, when like a failure comes up, it's like, dude, the last thing that I thought was the lowest failure ended up helping me in this situation. So if another thing comes up and it doesn't work out, maybe that's just a trigger to do something else. Like, I got into music because I stopped playing hockey. It was like, now I like every Christmas from like 5 years old to when I was 19, I was always in hockey tournaments. Every summer I was always playing on like teams. All my time was hockey 24/7. And then I stopped playing, and it was like, what the fuck do I do now? I have so much free time. I love music. My dad was a DJ. Like, let me get into this. So the failure of not playing college hockey that I'd wanted since I was a little kid opened up the doors to like now do music, which I love, and that's got me the opportunity to do cool work and all that shit. So it's like, just take the failures for what they are. Don't be like bugged out by the bad shit that happens. And you can really use it to like benefit. One of my homies, when we were in high school or when we were in college, him and his buddy got falsely accused of rape. And like some girl, they were at like a frat party. Him and his buddy like went in a room with this girl. Nobody knew her. And when they came, the girl, like, they were in the room like chilling, just hanging out, talking, drinking in the room. And she came out and said that they like raped her. And him and my friend, their faces were like on the news. If you Google his name, that's the first thing that comes up. And he took that and he had to go to court and like do all that shit. And he's like, the court system is so fucked. Like, the way they treated us was so shitty. Like, she's completely anonymous. We're getting blasted out here. The case got dropped because nothing happened. They had no evidence. So he was like, all that experience made me hate the law and stuff so bad that I want to be a lawyer to change it. And he just graduated from law school, and now he has a job. He's moving up to like Lancaster with his girlfriend. And it's like, that could have really wrecked him, but he turned that into a positive. And every interview when he goes in, it's like, right on the table, if you Google me, this is what's gonna come up. Like, you can see that nothing happened, but I'm gonna put it on the table, and what happened is what made me want to pursue this career. And they see it, and they're like, right, that's fucking great. Smart. Thank you for that. We're gonna take a chance on it.
Well, I mean, that even in that, I'm just thinking about how I would even approach that situation. I mean, because now I'm at a point where I have like no malice even in my heart. So even if someone did something and I've had it happen, I'm just like, even if someone's done something, like people have done some really like, or they just completely used me. But I'm at a point where it's like it doesn't even faze me anymore. So even like in that situation, I'd probably I'd still, if that was my goal, I'd still do it. But even at that point, I'd just be like, I don't even remember what happened. And I'm at a point now where it's like, well, I learned that, and now nothing will ever faze me. And I mean, obviously you can use like, I guess that I just never was fueled by hate, because even that can lead to like rash decisions.
Yeah.
I'm not saying him because I don't know the whole story, but in my cases where I've done it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna prove this person wrong type of thing, and just like go full throttle, but like with that, like that's the purpose versus just like I'm like we were talking about is like self-awareness of what you have, and then just building with that, and then that's what's literally keeping you afloat, and you'll always be afloat. Regardless of the situation.
Yeah, that's the key. You'll always be at that, like, you'll always have that, like, peace of mind or, like, control over yourself where it's like, all right, I'm in control here. Like, I might not be in control of what happens to me, but I'm in control of how I take it in and what I do afterwards, you know? And I think that's what's important. It's like, it's real easy to just, like, this happened, fuck that person, fuck this, like,
that's what
take it out on them, as opposed to going, all right, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation again. Like,
or like I'm learning from like their character, and that's not gonna be part of my character. It sounds like that's why I was bringing everything back to like God. Like the only way like I've learned is like honestly just through that like faith and that like perseverance. And I lost both my parents, so for me, I was obviously put through like, I don't know, a thing at such a young age that so many people never went through, especially like, you know, privileged kids that I've grown up with and different things, where I don't hate them or anything for that, and I don't feel any type of way towards them. The only thing it could be if they have like issues that they've like been harboring for so long they don't even realize it. Be like, maybe you need to go through something like that so you can kind of develop. For me, I needed that, so maybe that's the reason why things like that happened. But I view them now, because I could be like, you know what, I'm so cold, I'm not gonna even be open, like, I'm literally down and depressed, like this Uber dude yesterday, dude. He, like, I don't know what happened in his life, but he thinks he's, like, told me a story of, like, he's got his mom, but his dad was never around. But the way he's toned, he's like, I want to do music. So he's only been doing, he's done, like, one thing, but he wants to do that. He said, oh, it looks so cool. But he's no, like, plan. Which, I don't know, maybe that's just the way some people are like that. They have no plan and they just like want to do something, so they'll do it. I'm not like that, so I don't understand how you can, must have a lot of confidence or you just must not know. So, I mean, it's up to him. But I was trying to think, because he was so like down and depressed and so upset with his life, and I was just trying to tell him, like, not even just to appreciate your life, but just see what you want, and then just kind of like, there's so many opportunities that even in that sense where you're at a point where it's like, I was literally like, do you have family, kids? No. Well, okay. Incentive right there to do what you want to do, and not be like stuck in this whole like, oh, I'm in the same situation, same rut. And it's like, well, honestly, you're probably in that rut because of yourself, dude. Because I was in that, and you can get out of it.
And that, dude, it's so funny because when I first came home from school, like, I went to boarding school at 13, and then I went to college right after that, so I wasn't home at all. And I came back home after school, and I was like, fuck, dude, like, I'm by myself here. All my homies live in some San Diego or whatever. I went to half my high school homies live in Boston. Like, I'm alone. My mom's like, rather than being upset that you're alone, you have a lot of free time because you're alone. Use that in like a positive way. And it's like, oh fuck, all right, you're right. Like, rather than being like, my circumstances could be viewed positively if I am willing to view it positively. Like, you just have to be able to take that and turn it into something else. It's like, now I have way too much free time. So what can I do? I can make music. Well, now why don't I try fucking picking up a camera? Why don't I try doing this? Why don't I learn how to play the piano? Why don't I go out and like meet people? Why don't I, if I don't have anybody to kick it with, go meet somebody and kick it with them, you know? Like, rather than being down, I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't have anybody to hang out with. Like, I'm on my own out here, like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, well, if you're not willing to make any change, you're gonna be stuck in that rut. Like, insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. So if you don't like something or you don't like the position that you're in, take initiative on yourself.
That's a great line.
To make a change. And if nothing else, like, the fact that you're trying to make a change is a positive in itself. Like, even if it doesn't work out, it's like, oh fuck, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I did something. I can do it again. And it didn't kill me. It wasn't scary. I can do it again. And try it again. And you start getting comfortable doing that shit, and that's when you come out of your rut, so to speak. So.
And it's just awesome. I think a lot of people that are able to recognize that. I think it's even age. Like, some people, they go through the whole life without recognizing. I have family members that will like never even view or like a lot of people, like my family, that they didn't understand like extended family. I mean, they're still family, you know, not parents, but they're still like, you know, part of my family. And but they never left the town they're in. They never ventured out. And I don't know if I fault you. I don't know what the situation is, why you didn't do that. But just seeing like how it's such a routine, and you like think that this is maybe the end all be all for yourself. And let's say it's like even my brother just being in a small town, which I understand if you're in the same routine all the time, you will literally be like, well, I'm old now. I'm not gonna like. I'm like, dude, you're like, have you been to LA? You came and visited me. Like, LA is literally like the city for like everyone. Like I'm the youngest person in my building. Literally, like everyone's like in their 30s and like a lot older, like 40s, like basically like, and the way they view life. And I mean, some people are like, you know, totally down and shit, but a lot of people are really, they're just like kind of high off life, but in a way that's just like, they don't view themselves as young. Like they do stuff, they just like view life, whatever they're at, as wow, I can do this, you know. It's not like you're paralyzed, and like imagine that one day you are, and then you're like, wow, now I view it all, but it's too late, and then whatever. And that's why I think it's so like, I always would use that everything's fleeting, which it is, but everything can be a nice fleeting, you know. It can be like it can be like a great like.
Just take the experience for what it is. Like, take it. Yeah, like dude, when I was at that finance job, like all the people, there was nobody at our company that was under 30. Like everybody was older. People would come to work and just bitch and shit. And I was like, I want to stop myself now before I get to that. Because it's like I come into work and I see you guys here, and it's like I don't want to be 30.
Oh, I can pay my car note every month for like whatever $800 a month because I'm driving like a Range Rover, like whatever it is, you know what I mean? But like I have no money at the end of the month, and I'm just like miserable because I have to go to work now at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, and
I have like a family and kids now because I put myself.
Yeah, now it's too late. Now it's too late.
Assuming that this is what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, and now it's like why don't you just quit your job and do something else? Like, I got a family, like, I got bills to pay, my house is this much, so if I leave this job, I have to get something that makes this, otherwise I can't, like, maneuver. And it's like, I got freaked out before I saw that. It was like, I don't want to get caught in that situation, so I see it.
Thank you for saying that, because so many people, like, they don't even see that. Like, this girl I was trying, she's starting to see it now. It's like, it may not happen to you, and let's say you don't have family, it could probably be a lot better. My brother, he doesn't have, he's in that situation, he's a corporate job, it's a great job, but he's in a situation where he's got these responsibilities and these things already adding up, and I'm like, well, you're not at a point where it's too late, it's just you. You don't have to rely on network. I mean, if I have a kid, like, my life is based on the kid now. I'm just like that. I'm not going to be like one of these terrible parents.
No, I 100%. That dude, and that's why, like, people were like, I don't care for kids right now because I want to be able to have the freedom to do what I want whenever I want and be able to switch up. And like, I don't even want to have a dog because if I want to just go somewhere for a week,
I don't my dog back in Tallahassee.
Yeah, like I don't want to have to. I don't want, and that's a small thing, but it's the same. The same type of mentality where it's like, I like the freedom to do whatever, so I want to take advantage of it while I have it because there's going to be a point where it's like, all right, I really can't just up and move to fucking Canada if I want to because I got responsibilities and things like that. Now that I have the freedom to do that, take some risks, do whatever. Like,
but being alone gives you this insight, and it gives you the confidence. I think that's the balance. You're comfortable. Let's say till the day you die, you can be alone. Let's say right now, so you die. Let's say something. Like you're literally like you can. If you want this freedom life, the only way you can have this happen. Not saying that this was the, you're giving up thing. Okay, you can have the family and kids. You're going to still make money. You can still do this. You may make less money by yourself, but you will have the financial freedom. You'll have the freedom to do it, to live exactly how you're living right now when you're 80 years old. Or have a family and kids and have the struggle. And, you might have some good times, but a lot of bad times, maybe some better times and some really bad times. But if you want that, or you want this, what would you pick?
I'd pick being alone. And I will say that I wouldn't have always picked that, which is I think where most people are, and like certainly where I was, where before it was like I don't want to be alone. Like I want I want all that
What
other
happens
shit.
if I close my Facebook and I lose all my? I was like, I really. That's like where they like the people that really with the friends like we kept in contact.
Yeah, exactly.
And now like one of my best friends, Matt, he's super cool. Like, he's like we were gonna do some type of thing like this too. We probably will back in Florida. And he's like never on his phone. It's never like he won't, I usually call him, he like usually won't answer, but he'll call me back or whatever. And I just understand because even him, like just seeing how I do that with mine, but I'm like, I'm not texting people. I'm not on my phone all the time. Like I'm like, if I'm on the phone, dude, I'm researching stuff. Like I'm like checking all these different pictures. Like I'm just
you're doing something.
getting inspired for like what I'm doing, dude. I'm not worried about like checking the timeline. And even that's like, if you're still doing that at a certain age, I'm like, dude, you're like, and if you're not in a corporate job, I'm like, man, now is the time to do it. Because I guess like once you have the responsibilities, it may be harder to do. But even then, you can always get out of the situation. Like like my brother, I tell him, if you want to get out of it and have the financial freedom, which is what I want, what I'm working for, why I don't want the school life, and I don't want that corporate thing. And if I have to take, a humility run for however long, and just like have no pride and be like, shit, I have no money, and like I did that for a while, and I don't care. It's like, but this is what I want, and I want to get, so even if you're in a point where you're making a good amount of money, now you have leverage where you can put money away, have like no payments because you have a steady income coming in. You can just look at it as like straight profit for your time, but then the other time, now you have more money, now you have enough money where you can invest in something now, okay, buy a property or something, whatever it is. Buy something, you can buy something, now you're making a return. And then slowly over time, now you make more return, like they say this is like wealth management or whatever it is, you want to be successful, you become an entrepreneur full time, that becomes your primary business. Once that becomes, you can still have your other thing if you ever, that's your backup now. Instead of that being your entire life, now, and if you have enough money and you make enough, then you know what you're doing, and you can quit it. Now, you're back to being a kid again.
Yeah.
And I think that is like, if you care about success, that is my goal, and I think that should be a lot of people's goal, because it'll just give you like that, dude, it'll give you that time for yourself that is so needed.
But you have to be comfortable with that time for yourself, which is, I feel like, what not everybody has gotten to yet. And some people, you've gotten it early, and some people need to yourself. Like yourself, like being with yourself, because that's the most important thing. It's like all you have is you, really. Like all you have is the thoughts in your head and yourself. Like that's all. At the end of the day, that's what you go to bed with, is just yourself. So if you are comfortable with that, you can maneuver in any which way you possibly can without having those extra responsibilities necessarily. And those things will all just be bonus. So then when it's like, you can meet somebody who's a wife or whatever who has that same mentality of like, we can shift and like do whatever, and now you're not so boxed into, fuck, now I can't step out of that, I can't move, I can't change my career, I can't do this because I'm not okay enough with myself to be able to drop everything and leave. Like, but it's like, move to New York. Well, I don't fucking know anybody out there. Like, I'm gonna be by myself for a year. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have any friends, whatever. And it's like, if you have the confidence with yourself, the opportunities are endless because you can do anything. You can go anywhere, you can do anything, you can take advantage of any opportunity. Somebody came to me tomorrow and goes, all right, we need you to like move to fucking China and like do this music thing. You'd be like, all right, I can go. I don't have to know anybody. I don't have to know the language. I'll figure it out when I get there. I'm totally down to do that.
And you don't have anything you're leaving behind.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Another thing which is like just a hindrance. That's why if you view that as your happiness, and some people do, and I commend you for it. Me, not so much, because I have my babies, the music and all that, and it might be self-serving and whatever, and I don't know, that's what I have to offer right now in my life. I'm young, so that's what I'm doing, and if that I don't care, dude, I moved here on a whim, dude. Yeah. I literally was like, never been to LA in my life, literally packed up my stuff, gave everyone like a week notice, and I was like, yo, I'm like leaving like in like 3 days, like I'm moving, and like, my aunt said she was like devastated, but it's just like, because she never left anywhere, and I'm just like, I'll be okay, like, you don't have to, I think because my parents were different, they never really like, my mom a little bit definitely was very, very strict and kind of like wanted me to, but they never gave me like a curfew, I never had any.
Mr. Bellizzi.